Hello, I am Flash Isaac. Few months ago, I released a video on 1001 idioms for WAEC and JAMB. I will share a link to that video in case you are interested. Today, I'll be taking you through idioms set in BECE and NCEE, which is as a person in primary school or junior secondary school. These are idiomatic expressions you should know. In passages, in sentences, you will find them. And in life, you will see persons using these idioms. It is very imperative that you know the meaning of these idioms. Before we begin, what is an idiomatic expression, or what are idioms? Idioms are simply expressions whose meaning cannot be gotten from words that make up the expression. For example, if I say, tie the knot, this is an idiomatic expression. What is the meaning? The meaning is simply to marry. Now, there is no marry here, no wedding, nothing. So the meaning is not gotten from the words that make up the expression. Blow one's own trumpet. If I say, he loves to blow his own trumpet, what does that mean? It means the person is boastful. You see some persons, they will come, I'm the biggest in this class. Nobody comes close. I did this, I bought that single-handedly. So they boast. It means you are blowing your own trumpet. You are telling people who you are, how big you are, not letting people praise you or say it for you. That is the meaning of blow one's own trumpet. Now, the second one, rob Peter to pay Paul. Rob Peter to pay Paul. This is what it means. Let's say you are owing rent, right? And you need to buy phone. You think, what do I do? You use the rent money to buy phone. So you didn't actually purchase that thing or borrow. You've robbed Peter to pay Paul. One thing is suffering while you get the other one. You get one thing at the expense of the other. So in that case, we say you rob Peter to pay Paul. So I hope you are following. Now look at the third idiom. Flogging a dead horse. To flog a dead horse, it means to waste time on something that will not change. And the fourth one, when all is said and done. After all is said and done, it simply means at the end. So when all is said and done, or after all being said and done, meaning at the end, this is it. And there's another thing which says so far so good. So far so good means like so far it's been good, although we still hope for it to be better or to end well. The fifth one, leave no stone unturned. It simply means to do things thoroughly, to make sure there is no mistake, perfection. That is the meaning of leave no stone unturned. And six, to be in the limelight. It means to gain attention. For example, you've been in class, nobody really recognizes you. One day, the teacher asks a question and you're able to answer. Or the teacher was supposed to flog everyone because nobody could answer the question. And you say, sir, this is the answer. You're able to answer it. From that day, people will begin to look at you. Ah, that boy is a scholar. The boy is very good. So in this case, we say you are in the limelight. You've blown. Musicians, you see somebody you don't know from anywhere, releases a single. Boom. The song is everywhere. Or movie. The movie is everywhere. So we say the person is in the limelight. The person has gained recognition, has gained attention. And 7, to add insult to injury. What is already bad, you've made it worse. So you've already complicated issue. That is what it means to add insult to injury. You say, he made me sad. As if that is not enough, or as if that was not enough, he slapped me. So you've added insult to injury. You say my parents are poor. Okay, fine, very bad. But how come you still took my properties and in the situation? So you're adding insult to injury. That is the meaning of that. And from frying pan to fire, it means you are moving from a bad situation to a worse one. So things are getting worse. A stitch in time saves 9. It implies that an early preparation for something brings success. As you prepare very early, you become successful in whatever you do. Is that not true? If you start preparing for exam from the very first day of resumption, it is easier for you to succeed than when you start reading a night to the paper. So a stitch in time saves 9. And to rain cat and dog means to rain heavily. To tie the knots, to marry. Explore all avenues. It means to take advantage of all the options. To make sure you do everything for something to happen. Do all your best possible effort in all the areas. It also means to fire on all cylinders. To make sure you explore all the options. Don't take chances. That is what it means. And a piece of cake means very simple. The assignment was a piece of cake. It was simple. I wrote it very well. It didn't take my time. So that is the meaning of a piece of cake. Then 14, once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon means something that happens once in a while, once in a very long time. It is not often. It is rare. It is seldom. So that is once in a blue moon. And if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. So if things were that easy, or if life were that simple, everybody will be successful. Everybody will be fine. If wishes were horses, beggars will ride. If it were possible, everybody will be rich. You'll be big boy, everybody will have car. Nobody will have to answer sir to anybody. So that is the meaning of if wishes were horses, beggars will ride. And in the same boat mean we are in the same situation, the same experience. So if you put your leg in my shoe, you know what I'm going through. So now your leg is in my shoe, we are in the same boat, the same experience or similar experience. Then those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. It means what you don't want people to do to you, don't do it to anybody. Because if you stay in glass house, you wouldn't want people to throw stones at you. So you too, do not throw stones. What is good for the goose is also good for the gander. What is good for the one is also good for the other one. And this says, in Abraham's bosom, simply mean heaven. That is Abraham's bosom. An act of God is simply something you can't control. It just happened. You don't have control over it. For example, wind can just blow, take away your roof. That is an act of God. Erosion, wipes everywhere, snow. Those are things you don't have control over. They are referred to as act of God. To come of age means you've grown, you've matured, you've come to maturity. Alive and kicking, you are healthy and cool and kicking. Then a white elephant project is simply a project that costs a lot. It costs an arm and a leg, meaning to cost a lot. But it is of very small value. You spend a lot of money on something that is not even that profitable or that adds just a little value. In that case, we say you are undergoing a white elephant project. Number 23, to cut corners. It means to take the shortest possible route or to follow shortcuts so that you ignore the rules. You don't want to follow the correct procedure. You don't want to be patient to get something. You just want something quick. So you break the rules. For example, if you're not preparing for exams, you are waiting for malpractice or to ask your friends in the hall, John, alpha number 2, alpha number 3. You are trying to cut corners. So that is what it means to cut corners. And a heart of gold, it means a very kind, good person. So if you are saying you have a heart of gold, it means you have a kind heart, you have a good heart, you are a nice person. Then, to be all ears, this simply means to be an attentive listener. An attentive listener. That is what it means to be all ears. To be all ears simply means to be an attentive listener. You listen attentively. Why to call it a day means to say that it is enough. So to stop doing something, to stop what you are doing, to put something to an end, to say, okay, it is over, enough is enough, let me stop this. So that is what it means to call it a day. So in class, a teacher is teaching and he says, all right, let's call it a day. Meaning, let's put an end to the class. We've done enough, we've had enough. Then, donkey's years mean a long period of time. To pull somebody's leg, it means to prank somebody. You are playing with your friends and one of them says, John, your mom is coming. So the person is trying to pull your leg to make you believe a joke. Okay? That is what it means to pull somebody's leg. Then a bone of contention is something or subject people actually disagree about. What is the bone of contention? What is the subject that is causing the disagreement? And finally, to marry money means to marry a rich person. To marry somebody because he is very, very rich. You married to marry money means to marry a rich person. That is the meaning. So I hope you found this class helpful. I am Isaac, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for even more amazing videos. Enjoy.